Once upon a time, in a tranquil village nestled between rolling hills and whispering pines, there lived a young man named Siddhartha. Born into a life of luxury and privilege, Siddhartha's days were filled with comfort and indulgence. However, as he grew older, he became increasingly aware of the impermanence and suffering that surrounded him. Driven by a deep desire to understand the nature of existence and find a path to inner peace, Siddhartha embarked on a journey of self-discovery. Leaving behind his opulent lifestyle, he wandered through the vast landscapes of his kingdom, seeking the wisdom of sages and philosophers. On his quest, Siddhartha encountered various teachers who imparted their knowledge of meditation, philosophy, and ascetic practices. Though he diligently followed their teachings, he found himself still grappling with the inner turmoil that plagued his mind. Unsatisfied, Siddhartha decided to chart his own course and explore the depths of his consciousness. One day, while sitting beneath the Bodhi tree, Siddhartha entered a profound state of meditation. As the sun dipped below the horizon, a cascade of insights unfolded within his mind. He realized that true mental strength was not found in extreme asceticism or indulgence, but in a balanced and mindful approach to life. From that moment on, Siddhartha became known as the Buddha, the Awakened One. He dedicated his life to sharing the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, a guide to attaining mental strength and liberation from suffering. The first noble truth revealed the existence of suffering in life, acknowledging the inevitable challenges and hardships. The second truth identified the root cause of suffering as attachment and craving, urging individuals to detach from transient desires. The Eightfold Path, the cornerstone of Buddha's teachings, outlined a transformative journey towards mental strength. It comprised right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Siddhartha emphasized the importance of cultivating a deep understanding of oneself and the world, fostering wholesome intentions, and practicing ethical conduct in every aspect of life. Right livelihood advocated for engaging in professions that aligned with moral principles, while right effort emphasized perseverance and dedication on the path to mental strength. Mindfulness, a central theme in Buddha's teachings, encouraged individuals to be fully present in each moment, observing thoughts and emotions without attachment. This practice, coupled with concentration, led to the development of a focused and serene mind. As the Buddha traveled from village to village, his teachings resonated with people from all walks of life. Many embraced the Eightfold Path, finding solace and mental strength amid life's challenges. The once troubled Siddhartha had become a beacon of wisdom and compassion. One of the Buddha's notable disciples, a young man named Ananda, approached him with a question. "Master, how can one face the storms of life with unwavering mental strength?" The Buddha smiled and shared the parable of the lotus pond. He described a pond where lotus flowers, symbolic of enlightenment, thrived amidst the murky water. Just as the lotus rises above the mud, individuals could cultivate mental strength by transcending the difficulties of life. The parable inspired Ananda to deepen his practice, and he eventually attained enlightenment under the guidance of the Buddha. The teachings spread far and wide, shaping the foundations of Buddhism and influencing countless lives. In the end, the story of Siddhartha's journey from a life of privilege to the enlightenment of the Buddha serves as a timeless narrative on the pursuit of mental strength. It teaches us that true resilience is not found in avoiding life's challenges, but in navigating them with wisdom, compassion, and a mindful heart. As the Buddha continued his travels, he encountered a diverse array of individuals seeking guidance on their own paths to mental strength. One such person was a merchant named Kisa Gotami, who was engulfed in grief after the death of her only child. Desperate and sorrow-stricken, she approached the Buddha, clutching the lifeless body of her beloved son. Through her tears, Kisa Gotami pleaded, "Great teacher, Can you bring my son back to life? I cannot bear the weight of this loss." The Buddha, with a gentle and compassionate gaze, replied, "I cannot bring the dead back to life, but I can offer you a way to find solace and strength in the face of suffering. Go to the village and find me a mustard seed from a household that has not experienced death, and I will use it to prepare a medicine for you." Grateful for the glimmer of hope, Kisa Gotami hurriedly went from door to door, asking for a mustard seed. However, in each household, she encountered stories of loss and grief. No home was untouched by the inevitable reality of death. As she wandered through the village, a profound realization began to dawn on Kisa Gotami. She understood that the suffering she experienced was a universal aspect of the human condition. No one was exempt from the cycle of birth, aging, illness, and death. Returning to the Buddha with this newfound understanding, Kisa Gotami said, "Master, I have learned that I am not alone in my grief. Every family in the village has experienced loss. Please teach me how to find mental strength and acceptance in the face of this universal truth." The Buddha, acknowledging her openness to wisdom, shared the teachings of impermanence and interconnectedness. He explained that the nature of life is transient, and embracing this reality with equanimity leads to mental strength. Kisa Gotami, through the practice of mindfulness and meditation, gradually transcended her overwhelming grief and found solace in the present moment. Her transformation became an inspiring tale in the Buddha's teachings, illustrating that mental strength is forged not by avoiding the challenges of life, but by confronting them with understanding and resilience. In another part of the kingdom, a fierce warrior named Angulimala sought out the Buddha. Known for his brutality and the necklace of fingers he wore as a gruesome testament to his conquests, Angulimala approached the Enlightened One with a conflicted heart. "Master," Angulimala confessed, "I am tormented by the violence I have committed. Can your teachings help me find mental strength and redemption?" The Buddha, undeterred by Angulimala's ominous presence, responded with compassion. He invited the warrior to renounce his violent ways and embrace the path of non-harming. Angulimala, desperate for a way out of his cycle of violence, agreed to follow the Buddha's guidance. Under the Buddha's mentorship, Angulimala underwent a profound transformation. He not only abandoned his path of destruction, but also cultivated compassion and mindfulness. As he walked the path of mental strength, he became an embodiment of redemption. These stories, among many others, spread far and wide, resonating with people from all walks of life. The Buddha's teachings on mental strength became a guiding light for those navigating the complexities of existence. In the quiet moments of reflection under the Bodhi tree, the Buddha often emphasized the power of the mind in shaping one's experience of life. He encouraged his followers to cultivate virtues, practice mindfulness, and develop a deep sense of inner peace. The legacy of Siddhartha, who transformed into the Buddha, continued to ripple through time, inspiring generations to cultivate mental strength and find liberation from the shackles of suffering. The journey from privilege to enlightenment, from grief to acceptance, and from violence to redemption became a testament to the transformative power of the human mind when guided by wisdom and compassion. As the Buddha's teachings spread across the land, they reached the ears of a young woman named Sujata. Living in a small village, she was burdened by the challenges of poverty and the daily struggles of survival. Intrigued by the stories of the Buddha's wisdom and the path to mental strength, Sujata set out on a journey to seek enlightenment. Upon reaching the place where the Buddha was residing, Sujata approached him with a humble heart. "Great teacher," she said, "I yearn to understand the path to mental strength. How can one find peace in the midst of life's hardships?" The Buddha, recognizing her sincerity, shared the story of the golden fish. He spoke of a fish that, residing in murky waters, discovered a hidden pearl. This pearl, untouched by the impurities around it, symbolized the potential for inner peace amid external challenges. The Buddha explained that, like the golden fish, individuals could cultivate mental strength by discovering the pearl within themselves, a source of unwavering tranquility that remains untouched by the turbulence of life. Through meditation and self-reflection, Sujata embarked on a transformative journey to find her own inner pearl. Her dedication and perseverance led Sujata to a profound realization. The essence of mental strength lies not in avoiding difficulties, but in transforming one's relationship with them. The challenges of life, when approached with mindfulness and equanimity, become opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Meanwhile, in a bustling city, a scholar named Dharmapala sought the Buddha's guidance on achieving mental strength through knowledge and wisdom. He believed that an intellectual understanding of the world would provide the key to inner peace. The Buddha, recognizing Dharmapala's earnest pursuit of knowledge, shared the parable of the wise gardener. He described a gardener who, with great care and attention, tended to a diverse array of plants. Some needed sunlight, while others thrived in the shade. The gardener, through keen observation, understood the unique needs of each plant. In this metaphor, the Buddha conveyed the importance of cultivating wisdom tailored to the individual's unique mind and circumstances. Dharmapala, inspired by the parable, realized that true mental strength arises not only from intellectual knowledge, but also from the wisdom of adapting one's understanding to the intricacies of life. These stories, woven together by the threads of wisdom and compassion, illustrate the multifaceted nature of mental strength. Whether through the parables of the lotus pond, the golden fish, or the wise gardener, the Buddha's teachings emphasized the universal applicability of the Eightfold Path and the Four Noble Truths. In the twilight of his teachings, the Buddha gathered his disciples and shared a final discourse. He encouraged them to be lamps unto themselves, to rely on their own inner guidance and cultivate mental strength through mindful living. The path to enlightenment, he affirmed, was a personal journey that required self-discovery and self-mastery. As the disciples continued to spread the Buddha's teachings after his passing, the stories of Siddhartha's transformation into the Buddha, Kisa Gotami's journey through grief, Angulimala's redemption, Sujata's quest for the inner pearl, and Dharmapala's pursuit of wisdom became timeless reminders that the path to mental strength is diverse and inclusive. The echoes of these stories continue to resonate in the hearts of those seeking refuge from life's storms. The teachings of the Buddha remain a guiding light, illuminating the way to mental strength, compassion, and the profound realization that, in the vast tapestry of existence, each individual has the capacity to discover their own path to inner peace.